Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to another episode of 30 Minutes with the Empress. I have yet another beautiful, phenomenal king in the house today. If you don't know who he is, I'm going to give him the platform and the availability to introduce himself and kind of tell you a little bit of his background, and then we'll go into some of his adventures and the beautiful things that he is doing within the community. So the floor is yours, King.
Peace, peace. Papa, how you doing today?
Oh, wonderful. I thank you for asking.
Cool. So for y'all who don't know, my name is Tariq Bey. I am the founder of Smoke and Grow Rich Tours, and Smoke and Grow Rich dispensaries. So I'm in the cannabis space. My whole mission is to open the doors and get black folks into this cannabis industry. And we just ain't talking marijuana. Yeah, we say cannabis industry. So it's a whole industry. It encompasses a different type of different facets of it. You know, it's over 25,000 different type of products you can make out of cannabis. You know, but marijuana is just more sexy right now. People into that. They want to know about that industry. And I got the best job in the world. I get to go around the country, set up shop and smoke some of the finest herbs across this country, man. I can't complain. Sister.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I guess just for a little background, like in your line, that would not only just be marijuana, but it would be like hemp, CBD, everything like that. So are you into the planting of the hemp or not that part?
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't actually touch the plant.
Oh, okay.
We work with farmers and growers who touch the plant. We more into the setting up the infrastructures, setting up the deals, because you got to have some place to sell it. If you ain't got a distribution network set up, you can grow all the hemp you want, but you got to have a place to get that hemp off your hands. So we help facilitate those. We help farmers, people who want to farm, who may not know how to even get started, how to get licensed and stuff like that. So we do consulting. We help them set up. Help them set up a farm where they can actually even get into it. So we into the education, opening the doors, getting the consultants together with people, opening the doors, getting them in the game. We help them get into the game. But we don't actually, I don't get my hands dirty. You know what I mean?
You do the easy part.
I sprinkle a little bit on my, I can break it down real good, but now I don't have to do all that. I got people, we got a team of people, we got growers, we got processors, we got people that, that get it in and whatever they do. I let people do what they do. I'm more
now, you mentioned the consultations though. Like, how does that work? Or what's the figure? I mean, I know, of course, I've seen all the things that you have going on in the private events and the public events that you do. But for those that will be looking at this interview at a later date, how do they maybe set up a consultation or what?
I mean, it's more like, because a lot of black folks have access to land, family land, heirs property, stuff like that, just sitting there, ain't doing nothing. People pay taxes on it, get tired doing that, or they into farming products that, some people, I met peanut farmers, they don't make a whole lot of money. They make peanuts,
right?
So they may be looking to get into the industry and do that. So what we do is, we'll talk to them and we'll assess their situation. Every situation different, see what, where their knowledge at, what they need. And, first thing they would need to do is set up a consultation with us. Set up a consultation. Most of the time they can follow us on at Smoke and Grow Rich Tours on Instagram. Send us a DM. We'll get back to you. Set up a consultation to see what you're working with. See if if you're in a legal state. If you're not in a legal state, if you're doing hemp, all states are legal. So you may have some land you want to contribute to that. You might not want to touch the plant either. You might just want to lease out your land. So we can set up a situation where we could bring a grower and he'll lease from you, and we can do some type of profit share. It just depends on the situation, But first thing they would need to do is set up a consultation. And there's a book out called The Emperor Wears No Clothes. I don't know if you ever read that, but it breaks down, this whole cannabis situation. I would suggest a lot of people start there. We got a link to that in our bio on the Instagram page, so you can go check that book out. But first thing, set up a consultation. See what you got going on. I just spent the whole I want to say I spent like 48 hours out there last 2 days in Tulsa, Black Wall Street. For a lot of people who don't know, Tulsa was the place of the 1921 race. It's not a race riot. It was a military operation against black folks to wipe them out. Take 35 square blocks, 35 blocks, not just a regular block. We're talking about 35 blocks of businesses, real homes, nice homes, and all that. You understand? Because Tulsa, a lot of people don't know this. Tulsa was once the oil capital of the world. So those black people sitting on oil. That's how a lot of them make their money and stuff like that too. But yeah, I was out there, man, and to me, it's a crime scene. Nobody's ever been charged with that crime. It's a crime scene. Matter of fact, Brother Johnny Cochran, that was his last case before he passed. A lot of people don't know that. This thing was trying to get these people some compensation. Mysteriously got some type of brain cancer. You understand what I'm saying? So that was that's deep in my heart. So I had to go out there just to see for myself this crime scene. But when the boots hit the ground, I started talking to the people. I made some good connections out there. So with the anniversary, talking to the people out there, man, the anniversary is coming up. So we plan on doing some events out there. And also we plan on opening up a dispensary in Tulsa also. And our thing is that community was built, Tulsa, the whole city is built off of the back of oil. And now it's a new player in town. It's called hemp. So our thing is to teach the babies, sometimes it's hard to deal with, people that's already grown and getting them to change their ways with the babies, you know what I mean? So we trying to set up some programs where we teaching the babies how to grow hemp, how to turn it into products, and how to process it. So Tulsa can become so they can have an economy. Now it can be Black Pot Street. You know what I mean? Where we using the cannabis and revitalizing our community. But we still have to address the situation of compensation. Because Tulsa's a war zone right now. It's just like any other hood. The youth shooting up each other. But think about it, man. If those 35 blocks hadn't been destroyed, then they wouldn't have the economic conditions to facilitate the gang violence and stuff like that that's happening out there, man. So these kids was robbed of the future. You know what I mean? So, we got to look at all this. The ancestors are yelling from the grave. This is 100 years. You understand what I'm saying? I had recurring nightmares and dreams. That's what got me out there. You know what I mean? And it's an energy out there. They're still finding bodies right now. You understand? So, the Tulsa's real big 2021. That's going to be a big movement. Hopefully, I'm going to be a part of that.
Have to go back to the core of what is the reason for all of the situations that we are in right now, which is like you're saying, go back to the fixing of what happened in Tulsa. And of course, bringing in, the ability to empower the youth. Oh, that's beautiful. So I definitely love that. Not to stay on the Tulsa thing so much, but I also saw that you said you were reading the stones of the survivors. Now, those are the ones that, of course, have passed on. Were you able to get in touch with any maybe living family members of survivors? Or people?
I haven't talked to any, relatives of people. Well, I talked to a couple of relatives. Like there's a couple of business owners that still on that street.
Wow.
And we did an interview with, but there's only two survivors that were actually there. There's only two left.
Wow.
They're like 4 years old or something like that. They were kids. They were children.
Right.
So when you go to the museum, and that's going to be part of, what we're setting up there to bring people to the museum out there. You see these plaques on the wall of survivors telling the stories. And most of the stories you read are of children talking about, they came and kicked down the door and daddy told run out the back door. He catch up with us later. We ain't never seen daddy again. You know what I mean? They ain't even seen his body. They can't even bury this man. You understand what I'm saying? There's stories like that on the wall. So, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But I hadn't personally talked to him, but I know there's an attorney out there who just refiled the lawsuit against Oklahoma, for those families to be compensated because they got receipts.
Yeah.
Everybody talking about reparations. People in Tulsa got receipts.
Yeah.
deeds. They got, hey, look, this is my stuff. None of them people was ever compensated, not for nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So that has to be addressed. You know what I mean? Because, like I said, just imagine somebody left you a movie theater. Somebody left you a pharmacy. You know what I'm saying? Somebody left you a airport with airplanes and limousine services. And just imagine that. From 1921, the companies that's running things right now, if you look at the beginnings, they had an origin. They had they ancestors started these companies, and they still running right now. These people were robbed of that, man. I wouldn't be gang banging if my granddaddy had a pharmacy. And he left me that. You know, that's my inheritance. I ain't out here banging no more.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. You gotta grow up and elevate. We have to be the example and the change that we want to see. You know, and I truly honor and appreciate kings like you that are out there on the front line, doing the work, getting it done, and making it look easy. I know it's not easy. I know it's a tough job, but
you know, with the Tulsa thing, man, I'm pretty sure everybody was hearing Tulsa a lot. You know what I'm saying? Because of certain other things that are going on. But ain't none of that got to do with the people in Tulsa. You understand? These people don't know what none of that is. You know what I mean? So when you put your boots on the ground, you go out and insult these people, and you see that they built a ballpark. They got a ballpark on Black Wall Street, a stadium, a nice-ass stadium. I'm guaranteed these people ain't getting no compensation for that. They knocked down your business 35 blocks. They got a nice white university and a nice white baseball stadium right there, and only like a half a block left. You understand? So come on, man, that's robbery.
Yeah,
that's robbery. But you know, cannabis can play a role in coming up because you know cannabis is sexy.
Exactly.
You know, it ain't hard to get the youth because it looks like weed.
Right.
You know, you say, man, look, you can grow this and you can turn it into stuff and then take this and turn it into textiles, turn it into fuel.
Clothing, lotion, everything. Yeah.
We even, you know, I hadn't dropped the video yet, but we was up there with talking to the people at Langston University. Oklahoma got an all-black university called Langston University. You know, and they got an agriculture department, so we're gonna be working with them to create programs and learn how to turn this stuff into products, man. It's you know. So like I said, it ain't just about getting high. It ain't just about smoking weed, getting high, you know. But don't get me wrong, you can do that. You know, it's two sides every coin, but just having some balance, you know.
Right. You gotta work hard and then play harder. I get all that. You know what I'm saying? Of course, definitely. But as long as it's empowering and it's in a fashion in which you get some type of return on your investment when it comes to not just being high, but actually growing and cultivating and creating along with, you know, a little bit of fun afterwards. What's wrong with that? I think it's a beautiful thing. I mean, I'm very, very, very interested, and I'll probably hit you later because it's some land we sitting on right now that's full of trees. It's doing nothing with it. So I don't know if I'm interested in maybe the leasing part, but you know, we'll talk after this. Definitely.
Reparations, 40 acres and a tractor.
There we go. So other than that, and I appreciate you coming on the platform. I really do. Of course, I'm gonna have you back. You know, I'm gonna have you back. But tell me what you got going on right now, other than already touched on.
So right now, Oklahoma.
Yes.
Focusing on right now. Oklahoma, just like after emancipation, a lot of ancestors went out because Oklahoma was a free territory.
Mm-hmm.
The way Oklahoma govern things is a little bit different. They're more, you know, they're real liberal and stuff. But the cannabis laws are conducive to what we're trying to do. If I wanted to open up a dispensary somewhere like in Washington, let's say New Jersey, I want to open up a dispensary in New Jersey, I gotta have damn near $2 million in the bank liquid and another $50 million to work with. Just to 50,000, I think about 50,000 for an application fee. That's just the application. I cannot get it. So my 50 grand is gone. So, you know, without using race, you know, they use economics to keep us out or something. You get what I'm saying? Now, it is possible that you can raise that type of money and do that, but I ain't really got time for that. I mean, it's not rocket science. We're selling weed. You understand what I'm saying? It's weed. It's shit. If you got some good smoke, they gonna get it. You know what I mean? So why you got to go through all that? So Oklahoma, the laws are real. You know, it's not that stringent. It's not that hard, for us to get in there. So we chose Oklahoma and used that as ground zero to create, so we opening up in the dispensary down there.
Ooh.
But this is going to be, when we have our smoking grow with stores, what we was doing previously is taking people to other facilities.
Right.
Now we'll have our own.
Ooh.
So now we're bringing people into the smoking grow. It's like a university. You come in on the tour, we're going to show you how to do it.
That's
we're going to show you how to open up a dispensary. We're going to show you how to open up a grow situation. We're going to show you how to get into the game, teach you, and then even possibly, if you're the right candidate, we'll even provide the financial backing, and you can open up a dispensary. So, like I said, because we telling people how to get into the game. Let's show them.
Yeah.
We gonna show them ourselves. So Oklahoma's gonna be ground zero, and also we putting it on a platform where investors can come in. They want to buy into the dispensary. We'll have it open where they can come in and they can make some money with us too. So we gonna be doing it big. The pandemic really slowed us down because we was on pace to do some numbers just off the CBD and stuff like that. But I'm kind of glad it happened. You know what I'm saying? It allowed us to refocus, and it brought Tulsa into the picture. We were talking about Tulsa in Oklahoma prior to the pandemic. Do you understand? So when that happened, I started having these dreams. I went down there, and it was like the yellow brick road. Walk this path right here. It just lit up in front of me. I walked this path. Now we finally gonna have a dispensary. And I asked my mother, I told my mother she could tell her friends, tell your friends your son sell dope. I sell dope. Be proud of me. You know what I'm saying? We sell dope. Because you think about it, man. So you got Ricky on the corner on the block. He moved 300 pounds of marijuana. He's getting locked up. He's going to jail. He's going to do some time. Name in the paper. He got a mark on his record. He's a criminal. Tom, on the other side of town, he got a license. He moved 3,000 pounds of marijuana. He get a plaque on his wall. He businessman of the year. He in the magazine. He ain't got to rock. He ain't got to hide, and he get to live his life like that. We got to balance that off. You understand what I'm saying? If you're going to do it, I still, my hardest thing right now is it baffles me. The hardest thing, the problem I'm having now is to get our people at the black market. They're like, yo, man, I'm cool where I'm at. Yeah. I'm tired. Like, no, man, get a license, man. You got to do it like that, man. We straight. So we got to get them out that mentality because this was always used since 1937 as a trap to lock us up. You know what I mean? So I'm like, look, get your license. If you don't know how to get your license, we'll show you how to get a license. You know what I mean? Or work with some, or you ain't even got to touch the plant. There's other things that you can do. But it's just educate the people on what we got going on. And when we hit them with the fresh, with the drip, we come through with the hip drip, you know what I'm saying, made of hemp. And we hit, you know what I'm saying, we hit them off with the homes. You can smoke your crib. You know what I mean? Crib made of hemp.
Exactly. We got
to show people these things. We're talking about it. But show me hemp. I'm going to show you. When I show you a house made of hemp, and it's fly, it's decked out, you're going to be like, I want one of them. And that's going to create the demand for it, which is going to create a market for it, which is when you got black farmers who's sitting on all this land. Now they can grow hemp and we can turn it into product. That's right. How you got, but it takes education. You got to get people used to seeing that. You know what I mean? Used to feeling the cloth and using hemp toilet paper. You know what I mean?
You're so excited. I love it. See, that's the passion that we need when it goes into reinvigorating these babies and changing the mindset of a lot of our people. So listen, like I already told you, I'm fully on board. As far as all the hemp products, me, myself, I did a little research and it's amazing. Like you said, it goes from clothing to shoes to products to, even down to now you're saying building a house out of hemp. So it's so many things that we just don't know. And by you having the platform and introducing that to people, it's going to create a huge market.
Tell y'all, read that. When y'all read The Emperor Wears No Clothes, that book will spark something. Like, word, I didn't even know that. A lot of people don't know that when we was over here in servitude, they brought us over here. We was doing cannabis. It wasn't just cotton. We was doing hemp. Because the clothes was made of hemp. The Constitution paper was made of hemp. The sails on the boats that brought us, some of us over here, some of us already over here, but that's another story. But yeah, some of the boats was made of hemp. You understand what I'm saying? So it was very labor intensive. It took a lot of labor to pull that fiber off of those stocks until they came up with the machinery to do it. So you got to understand, we always had a connection with this plant. You know, understand what I'm saying? Now it's time for us to get our own connection. So I'm like I said, I got a book coming out, Smoke and Grow Rich. We're gonna be talking about the history of this stuff, man. How I even got outlawed in the first place, and how you can get back into it, how you can take that family land and turn it into profits. But it's gonna take a movement. It's gonna take a network of people and letting people know it just ain't marijuana. You know,
Right.
that's cool. You know, that's cool, but it's a whole nother, it's called industrial hemp. Why do you think they call it industrial? Because it's industrious plant. You can create so many different things, you know?
Yeah. It's just crazy how many of our people are still incarcerated behind it, and how now it's just being sold in so many different states. You know, I mean, I guess that goes back to another one of the problems that could eventually be fixed, but just creating that lane where you don't have to do it illegally anymore. Oh my goodness.
Now, see, there's a big election coming up.
Yes.
You know, and everybody talking politics. You got the Trump administration, you got Joe Biden, you got Kamala Harris. Now, these people think just because they're Democrats, they're just gonna take your vote and walk into the White House. This is the time you should put some fire up under their ass and say, hey, look, what y'all doing with this cannabis law? You know what I'm saying? Why this thing nationally?
Exactly.
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia right now. You know, I'm in Atlanta. If you light up in Atlanta, downtown Atlanta, and you get pulled over, you pretty much got to pay a $70 fine. You off on your way. Now, some parts outside, like I'm in Gwinnett County, Hall County, stuff like that. I've been arrested, put in the back of a patrol car, treated like a criminal for a little split. You understand what I'm saying? While the whole rest of the country, you know, while the rest of the country, 33 other states, I ain't got to do, like in Oklahoma, I ain't had to worry about that. Vegas, I ain't got to worry about that. Cali, I ain't got to worry about that. DC, I ain't got to worry about that. But you still got other states that's still using this as a source of revenue. Because when they get you in that court, you're going to pay $1,500 and up just to beat that case. You know what I'm saying? So these politicians need to be held accountable. Like Kamala Harris, you know, she locked up a lot of black folks. You understand when she was in San Francisco. And she needed to atone for that by definitely taking some type of stance and say, hey, look, I'm gonna make this cannabis thing, I'm gonna make this federally legal. You can use the banks. Also, I'm gonna sponsor programs where minorities can get in on some social equity. Them conversations need to be had because once this election over with, you know, it's gonna be even harder. But don't get it twisted. Cannabis gonna get federally legal.
Oh yeah,
that's a promise. You know, because some of the biggest cannabis companies out here are run by politicians.
You know, so, they're making too much money to not make it legal.
It's gonna be legal, but the thing is, we should not be sitting on the sidelines like customers. Just because, you understand, we need to be into that mix. Come on, man. I don't understand it, man. If they say it's not, you can get a license to sell dope. Where the black people at? What y'all doing? Come on, man. A license to sell dope?
Look, they probably think it's a setup.
Yes, you know, I thought it was too. It was like The Wire. You ever seen The Wire? When they had half the dam? I'm like, single barrel. Let me send the low boys. Let me send them boys out there first and see what happened to them. But now, man, come on in. The water's fine. We can't go back now because Canada set the precedence. Canada made it federally legal, and they make all the biggest cannabis companies in America are Canadian companies. People got to look at this. The top companies they're buying up all the blocks in America. Owned by Canadian companies while we sitting on the sideline. I'm not sitting on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, like I said, my thing, but it's not easy. Don't get it twisted. It's still a business. You know, I name my company. I name my company Smoke and Grow Rich. It's based off a book called Think and Grow Rich. You understand? Written by Napoleon Hill, and that lets you know it takes a mastermind. It takes a certain way of thinking to be successful, man. So we trying to put we put those principles on how we run our business. You know, we just don't work with anybody. You know what I mean? We got to make sure we got that right chemistry. You know, because you got to be careful in this weed game. You know, because people are shady. They won't get in, get a license, get weed, and go back underground with it. Exactly. Now we try to do. You know what I mean? But you know, it's all good though. I can't complain. I got the best job in the world. I love what I'm doing, and this shit is cool. When I go to the family reunions, everybody will see Uncle Tariq. All the young.
I bet they do.
I'm Uncle Tariq in the weekend. Hey, you know how you get in the weekend, you know what I mean? So it's cool as hell.
That's good. Well, I want to thank you for coming on my platform. You know, I told you I only keep you 30 minutes, but I'm going to have you back because you're doing some big things that we got to discuss at another date. And then I'm gonna hit you on some other stuff after this. But thank you for coming on the platform, King. I appreciate you. Please keep doing what you're doing. You know we support you. And if you need me for anything, you already know. You got my number.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Absolutely. But thank you again. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. And I appreciate you for being a participant in what I have going on right now. Thank you.
Anytime. Here.